You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Welcome back to another edition of the Fourcast. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for new viewers. Thank you for old viewers. Thank you for continuous viewers of the program. Thank you for all of those that are watching this afterwards. We appreciate the after watch and the pre-recorded views and the on-demand views as well. So welcome to the Fourcast. Myself, Ben, A-Trap. Wilkes is out of town. I did get news that Doc will be back very soon, so be on the lookout for that. He's been on a little bit of a hiatus, so definitely, man, continue to lift all of us up in prayer. Man, we all going through something. We all dealing with something. Dealing with the loved ones that have passed away. So continue to lift each other up in prayer. All right, so tonight's episode is After the Hunt, which is a very, very, I'm going to say very one more time, very interesting film with, as you can see, Julia Roberts, E.O. Adidaberry. She's on the far right, and then I'm going to have to look up the name of the guy on the left, but
the white guy.
Yeah, the white guy. Yeah, Frederick is his name in the film, so we can say that, but yeah, man, this was like top 5 on Amazon. Amazon's been having some pretty good films lately. I figure we review this one. But as we get into it, man, give me your initial thoughts after the hunt.
After the hunt was thought provoking. It is something it is something that is needed in today, because I saw this thing with Nuri Muhammad, right? He says. In 1992, people use 3.8% of their brain. It's down to like 1 1/3.
About to say, it's got to be down to.
So this is something that provokes thought. It like they did in the movie. You engaged in a lot of conversation that's from ancillary angles, and this is something that was needed.
Yeah. I felt like it was very thought provoking, like you said, but it was also it was something that you could imagine and see happening, in today's time. Just because, I mean, when you're especially a professor, and because that's where the setting is. The setting is at Yale. They're professors. E.O., which is played Maggie, is her name in the film. She's a student that's there, and so. Sometimes these relationships and these lines get blurred, and sometimes you don't know how to handle it. It's unwarranted. It's something that you didn't want. So I felt like Julia Roberts did a excellent job in the film. E.O. did a excellent job as well. I mean, she's got a type of film that she does. Like, this is her lane. Is that suspenseful. It's that thought-provoking. If you think of the film that her other film we reviewed, Opus, which was kind of similar to this, very kind of dark with the music and but I like her. I think she's a good actor. What's your thoughts on her as an actor, and seeing her side by side with Julia Roberts in this?
The thing is, this might be the step up that she needs to put herself in the mainstream. You know, what is it a mainstream though?
Right.
I just thought about that. This came out in October. It's streaming. So,
Right.
well, this will put her at the forefront of the actors.
Yeah.
And when you pair her with the Julia Roberts, what happens is, instead of just Julia Roberts shining, we've spoken about Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro and others taking lesser roles to take a step back so the youth can just have a precipitous climb to the top. This might be the one that helps her get to the top.
Yeah. I agree with you there. Theodora, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your support as always. Long-time viewer, long-time supporter, so we appreciate you. And yeah, I think she's definitely kind of reaching that I would say mid to top tier of actor. Bear was a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fully watch it through, but I think I watched the first season. Yeah, you know. I'm the guy that doesn't watch the whole thing through. But I think she won some type of award for that. So I mean, she's really showing her ability, her acting chops, and the things that she's able to do. But yeah, I think she won. I thought she won something. Yeah, she won the Astra TV Awards, Critics' Choice. She won that. Golden Globes. She was nominated. Well, actually, she won that as well for The Bear. So, I mean, she's really showing that she can hang with the heavy hitters.
So. Well, not really range, but she's showing that she has great acting chops, as they say.
Right. Exactly. So let's kind of get into this film. Obviously, like we said, it was interesting, suspenseful. Julia Roberts was the professor. EO was the student. And then Andrew kind of comes into the picture, who's played by was played by Spider-Man.
Right.
That's the main thing that I know him from, and to see him in this, I was like, whoa, okay, this dude is doing something completely different. Andrew Garfield. So to see his kind of range and ability, I felt like was interesting. But the first question I got is, why was this film named after The Hunt? I didn't get it. I don't know if you got it.
I mean, but is it a hunt for knowledge? Is it a hunt for love? Is it a hunt for experience? Because all those things were covered in this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and her hunt. I mean, Julie Roberts' hunt was to be 10-year. That was like her. That seemed like that was her goal. So that would seem like that was her hunt. But throughout the film, you could see that obviously that wasn't going to happen. And maybe so everybody was kind of on the hunt for something. So yeah, I was trying to what was the purpose of the name?
But then again, what about this? After you, because it's everything was unattainable,
right?
And then when you get to it,
right, what happens?
Exactly. What's the purpose? What was the purpose of that run? Why did you chase this down? Like for tonight, you play the Powerball. Once you win it,
what do you do next?
What do you do next? And that's what they
were. That was kind of get it. Once you attain what you wanted, and we fast forward to the end, and they're Maggie and Julie Roberts are sitting down and meeting, and she's like, "Are you happy? Like, did you achieve what you wanted to achieve?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm happy." And he was like, "Okay, you won." So I think that was kind of the ending that really set things off. Let's see. We got a comment. I'm not sure who this is. It said, "I've been wanting to see this. Is there good character development, or do people just have their own agendas in the film?" That's a good question. Thank you for tuning in as well. I think they kind of really have their own agendas. It didn't fully, and A-Trap, you can jump in on this. It didn't really fully give the backstory as to why, because Julia Roberts' Alma was there was leading to she had something that happened to her, but they never said it unless at the end, if that's what they were talking about with her, with like her dad's friend. But So the character development I don't think was great. I think it was people just had their own agendas, and it kind of carried throughout the film. That's what I got.
Well, I don't. Well, it's more than character development. It will be more of story development because the characters were the characters. These people are, like as we stated, these people are shooting at something, and the story is, they should say, the backstory is, it is clear that Julia Roberts has a backstory, and that's usually the situation when you're reaching for something. When you're reaching for something, it's always something in your background. Just like when you see politics. Well, formerly when you saw politicians, if they have anything of substance that's in the negative substance in their background, this eliminates them, and you find yourself reaching for that your entire career. So it is the proverbial brass ring that you're trying to
Right.
get, and
Or it's the shiny object that you keep chasing.
exactly. So it's more of watch what you do, and watch what you do every. It was more of a life lesson. Do what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do at all times, and you won't be held back for what you really want.
Right, right. Good point. Good point. And Theodore, I agree with you on this 100%. Rotten Tomatoes really lowballed this. They gave it, we normally do this at the end, but they gave it a 37%. I wouldn't go that low at all. I do think the music was very opera. It was very
Drew.
theatrical. It was like over the top theatrical, but it did fit with the film. It wasn't as if the music didn't fit with the film. The music was, I feel like it was perfect for the film and what they were trying to do. It wasn't anything where I was like, why'd you put that song in there? But yeah, to me that's too low. 37% was too low. And to be honest, I'm not a Julie Roberts fan at all. I think she's pretty bland, and most of her movies are corny, in my opinion. So I mean, in watching this really showed, and there were some writers saying this one might have been one of her best performances because she had to play a different type of role. I think that I've seen her play in a minute. That was too low. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Let's see. I'm not really big into the rating thing because just think about this, man. There's people in the United States getting paid to tell you what you may like.
True. True.
So that's your opinion, man.
And it's at the end of the day, it's all opinion.
Right.
Like if you allow social media, if you allow a writer to sway if you're going to watch something, I mean that's on you. If you're not even going to give it a chance, and I mean that's happened plenty of times.
But I guess I can't complain because that's what we do.
Yeah. Hey, the Tyler Perry films, the minute that they drop, they get trashed. There's people posting clips, and that deters people from watching it. So now for me though, I felt like this film really had some range. It really gave it some intense moments, and the actual person that directed the film, I believe his name is Luca Guadagnini. He's Italian. So it gave you a sense of, okay, this is more theatrical than anything. And it was a lot, and a lot of the conversation was, and I wanted to get your opinion on this too, is like they weren't actually talking at each other.
Right.
They were talking in hypotheticals and kind of around each other the entire film. And so you kind of got to gist that that's what it was going to be.
My man Craig speaks about this on a regular basis. Stop talking past people. And that's what they were doing. It was more of, I need to express myself. You're listening to respond, or you're listening to respond, not to understand. So you end up talking past what I was just saying. Hey man, I like brown shirts. And then the next person be like, I think brown shirts are something that we need to get rid of, and because nobody wears them. And you're like, holy,
yeah.
And that's what they were doing, talking past each other. And
It was like an in circle conversation that they were having. And so Frederick, who was married to Julia Roberts, his name was actually Michael Stahlberg. His character was probably the most interesting. He was weird.
Puppet
I don't
master.
know. Yeah, upper class. Um, and so the kind of the main gist of it is that Hank, who is again played by Andrew Garfield, was accused of sexually abusing Maggie, and so they got like to that point in probably the first 30 minutes of the film. But also going along with that, Julia Roberts Alma had this like illness. You didn't know what it was. She was like throwing up. Her husband was giving her medicine, and the plot twist on that at the end was like, wow, I was not expecting that at all. But when this whole thing comes out, and this is something that this is highly related to what goes on in today's time, is that women are speaking out for what has happened to them, which is what should happen. But they're immediately there's always this, victim blaming, and did it really happen? And I don't know. And Alma was kind of this like playing both sides and throughout the entire film until her bubble was burst. But with that coming out, did you think that was something that Hank did?
Oh, I think he did, man, because he was a master manipulator, and he loved to show his power.
Yeah.
When you want to show that much power, you have no regard for other people's humanity. Right. So I don't put anything past them. And this is when you have this type of power and you become untouchable. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Therefore, I don't put it past them. And she was experiencing too much trauma to not have had something.
Right. I mean, and she confided in Julia Roberts, and she came to her really first. Like she didn't come to anybody else. So that relationship between the two of them, you took it as it was more than just a teacher-student relationship. It was an actual friendship. She was over at her house. I mean, it was bigger than just the prototypical relationship between a professor and a student. So, I 100% thought he did it because he was just that he was probably the cockiest person in the film.
And if he did do it, he put enough anxiety in her life to make her feel as if he did. It's the whole mind control thing. I can put you in a position to make you feel like I own you, and when I put you there, it is. I wouldn't say sexual assault, but it's assault because it's assault mentally and of that person. You can destroy somebody from the inside out if you have the right triggers.
Right. And I think one of the biggest underlining things in this entire film was elite. It was the elite versus the elite. They kept talking about rich kids this, rich kid that. I mean, and Alma's over here. She got a house. You find out later on she got an apartment on the side. I mean, like she balling. So it was a kind of, let's point the finger at the rich kid and what they're able to do, but the professor's on the same like level. So they're really pointing the finger at their younger self. So I definitely wanted to hear your opinion on that dynamic that they kept pushing.
But see, the thing is, when you are, it's the hierarchy situation. It's the stair steps to power.
Yeah.
You assume as being an H route graduates, hey man, we got it. And there's somebody up there pulling the strings. They got the marionette strings going. There's somebody above them. It makes me think about this episode of Good Times when Walona left the boutique. Remember, she was already working at the boutique.
Yeah.
But she became a security officer, and she was watching people undress. And she told her supervisor she was uncomfortable doing that. And then somebody came in and stole some stuff, and Walona brought it to their attention and stopped beating on the glass, and they ran. And she said, "See, Miss Woods, I was watching you, and you are not cut out for this." And then you hear this overlying voice, "Hey, we don't like the way you were talking to Walona. We were watching you. And Walona ends this episode by saying, look, the watchers of the watchers are being watched.
Right.
And
Exactly. And that was what was happening here. Theodore says mental cruelty. And that was going on throughout this entire film. It was like a mental, like I'm not really gonna believe you. And this is Alma and Maggie talking to each other, Julia Roberts and EO talking to each other, and it's like, I hear you, but I don't truly believe you. But I'm gonna string you along, and I'm gonna play both sides, and I'm really not gonna come to your defense, but I'm not gonna say he didn't do it either. So it's like that mind game was really messing with both of them.
This is the perfect example of what America is today. Black women get kicked in the ass. White women know ass kicking is happening.
Right.
I won't stand up for you, but I won't condemn you either.
Right, exactly. I'm gonna look like this.
Abuse. And meanwhile, they're abusing you as well. And now you're stuck holding the truck.
Right.
About abuse. Are they tripping? Are they tripping? Or are you just the victim now?
Right. And do you not want to come to the defense because you have something that you're trying to achieve? Again, she wanted this 10-year, and she wasn't gonna allow anything to get in the way. But also, like she asked multiple times in the film, am I a bad person? She was a bad person, but she was just portrayed as like, I'm the professor that everybody comes to. I'm about to get this 10-year. I got a good marriage. There's really no issues in my life. And all of that was bad. Her marriage wasn't great. Her being a professor and getting tenure wasn't going to happen because she was taking advantage of the system. So, I mean, it was really like a fall from grace for Alma throughout the entire film. It was just going all downhill.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. It don't exist until it happens to you. And that's why I equated it to America today. You know, DEI, it's some bull. What is it? A critical race theory. It's some bull. Black people, y'all need to relax. And then you get poked in the butt. Hey man, see, we need to have a rally. Nah.
Hey, yeah, what happened? What happened all these years that this was going on? And now, since you're being affected,
now you want to be a champion of the cause. And again, it's a lot of angles you can go with this. You can go with just straight karma. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you got people, you got people doing things, and then it comes back to you. You know, it loops around and kicks you in the ass. Now you care. You got a social standard that no one has to adhere to up until it meets them in the face. Right. You know, we see that all the time. And when you can't be doing sexual harassment, I mean, SA is horrible. Domestic violence is horrible. Minimalizing people's worth is horrible until my man is the president. And it's about the bottom line. And that's what we deal with. So that's why this movie was so interesting, because you can remove and plug black women, remove and plug white women, take a plug out black men who I call black supremacists, white supremacists, because they continue to oppress, women and other underserved people, because when I got power, I can do that. You know, how could you be, I hate to be political, but how can you be black and support ICE?
True.
Or my least favorite situation in regards to life these days is this. You hate ICE, and when they grab a citizen of the United States, hey, he's a citizen. It's not cool to do this to anybody. Yeah. So that's what I got from him,
And 400 years ago, that was us.
400 days ago. Out of here. But see, that's the thing, though. And it's not a knock against you, but we always way to the past for the discriminatory practice, way in the past
going on now?
For the disrespect and disregard. Man, you gotta look back a year ago.
Yeah.
Think about it, man.
Right.
A year ago. 1 year ago, the whole world was up in arms. Well, not the whole world. MAGA world was up in arms because, hey, you're reading to the trans kids. Da, 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 da. And now, look, it's okay. You don't care about the kids. But now you cutting health benefits, which means older people are going to die. Younger people are going to die. Women are going to die. Oh, but what happened to this kids thing? And that's what we're looking at. We're experiencing the hierarchy of, hey, I'm innocent. People are hurting me. Help me. Well, I could help you, but it'll mess up what I'm going to get.
It'll mess up what I got going on.
Right. And then, hey, I don't care about either one of y'all. I'm doing what I want to do. And if you try me, I'll destroy you. And that's America, life in America.
Yeah. Theodore, last week. I mean, every week there's something. So I agree with both of y'all. I'm at 100%.
I'm man the diddler, baby. Oh, my fault.
Hey, and when you think of somebody that's guilty, what's the first thing they do? They go on the defense. They arguing with you, and that was Hank from like the get-go.
Yeah.
He was like, "Nah, I didn't do this," and she was lying. And then you go to, well, she was cheating on her paper. So let me turn it around on her, and she's rich, so she can do this, and yada yada. But yeah, he definitely he immediately went on the defense and he didn't do it. And again, going back to what we've been saying, Julia Roberts' character, she didn't really care either way. She's like, look, don't put me in this. Don't put me in this. Don't make it seem like I had anything to do with it. But she was already friends with Maggie, so you're in it whether you want to or not. You're friends with both parties, so you're in the middle of it regardless.
Being this person's friend, and you again, it goes back to karma. You're dropping the ball. The reason you're dropping the ball is because you're trying to protect what you want. You're gonna protect what you want at the cost of your friendship and the cost of your friend's mental capacity. Because I've never been SA, I've never been disrespected in that manner. But imagine getting up, going to work every day, getting up, going to school every day, existing in life. Like I told you maybe about a month ago, when I had this severe back injury, I could barely walk. I literally had to buy one of them little seats to take a shower. Yeah. Couldn't stand that long. I remember leaving after I got a new vehicle. I remember being proud of myself. I got a new vehicle. I'm good, man. I'm back. And I used to live in this high-rise apartment building on 7251 South Shore Drive. Why did I give you the address? Only God knows. I lived on 15.
It was on the tip of your tongue, so you had to say it, I guess.
But I lived on 15, and I was 2 stories down on my parking space. My parking was the original story and the middle story. Then I was 3 stories down as my parking space. And you find yourself walking. I'm gingerly walking because I got to walk like I'm like 75 years old, right? Yeah. And I remember looking around, and I was like, damn, somebody run up on me, they'll beat the hell out of me right now. And I'm just walking. Man, it's nothing but professionals in this building. It's not like, I don't live in a project building or anything like that. But it dawned on me. And then as I got like right to the middle of the parking lot, where if somebody did, this is probably where they would get me. Yeah. And I said, man, this must be like, this is what women feel like every day.
Every day.
And so until this movie is a perfect example of, until the world will never be as good as it could potentially be until we have empathy for the people that it'll jeopardize us to help.
Right.
Because do you really want $100 million at the risk of somebody else dying?
Yeah.
So you want a tenure at the risk of this girl's mental health. Right. You lorded over this woman a position that you knew she wasn't gonna get. Right. And you control 2 people. You abuse mentally, like Theodora said, you abuse mentally and emotionally 2 people just to exercise power.
Right. Just to look out for your own self. Alma did it to everybody. Her husband's like, look, we've been together. We haven't been intimate in a long time. And he's like, well, I guess because I don't work in the, what do you say? I don't work in your department. Then, I don't. And he was still there. Like the dude was riding for her even when she was wrong. And just a little
true spouse.
Right, exactly. And
And
she was
people,
like, why you here? It was like, because I love you. I'm here because I love you. And that's true marriage right there. Dealing with all the good, the bad, everything that's going on. So yeah. So, Alma was not really believing it. Maggie was coming to her, trying to get her to, like, hey, just say something. I'm not even telling you to run around and with a sign on the front and back of you and with a bullhorn. I'm just telling you to say something because you have the ability to say something. And she just, she never would. And then she didn't come to Hank's really defense either. So, and you could tell that there was a love interest there. Like they were either in love or they were messing with each other or whatever it was.
I took it as infatuated with his power.
With her power.
Yeah, her power.
Yeah.
Because it's like, or you know what? Maybe it was because then you can't you messed up, and you can't. Maybe it is harboring of the offender.
Yeah.
You protect. Your it's Patty Duke. What is she? She was a victim. My man with the cross. Helter Skelter dude. I can't think his name. I keep wanting to call him John Dillinger, but that's so far from his damn name. I can see his face. He has the Nazi symbol on his forehead. He's been locked up since about 68. And
you talking about Manson?
Yeah, man. Maybe it's the Manson thing. What do they call it?
You're not talking about Stockholm
syndrome.
Okay.
That's what I could not think. Okay, I know what, but he had Patty Duke, and she was suffering from Stockholm syndrome. I had all the characters.
Right, you had all the dots. They just wasn't connected all the way.
Maybe this is Stockholm syndrome, to where as you turn to, dude, we do that.
Yeah,
the black community does. Hey, white people, give us jobs. We the reason y'all in that situation. Why would we give you jobs?
Right.
Hey, give us education. We do that too.
Right.
Give us a link.
Right.
We're gonna give it to us. But we're gonna make y'all look like y'all do. And it is in essence what we do. She was damn. I just thought about it. She's a microcosm of the black community. Damn. She's a microcosm of the of what she is, the white woman.
Yeah, she is the white. Yeah,
and we're all catering to this man.
Right.
The man.
The man. Yeah. And then when you kind of snap out of it, which Maggie snapped out of it, like, look, why am I trying to get her approval? Why am I coming to her when I got the power in my pen? I can write it and just speak to what happened. And eventually, that's what she did after she kept meeting with her. I mean, and that's like, like literally meeting with your abuser and just expecting, well, maybe this time they'll change. Maybe this time they'll give in and they'll speak up and they'll turn themselves in. And she just never did. She met with her at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. I mean, this is the perfect example of what's wrong with our community today. Yeah. Hey, I hate to just make it the white man, but hey, the white man, don't you want to help me? No.
Yeah.
Why? But hey, I'm gonna pretend I do. I'm gonna tell police officers they need personal training, but you still get clubbed beside your head. You gonna still get shot on these video cameras.
Right.
You're still gonna do everything that we gonna do to you, and you're not gonna be able to control it.
Right.
And
we got full authority.
Right.
And backing.
We are total autonomy of your life. We control it. Yeah. And people, oh man, and then you hear people, and I hate to make it personal, but people hear me say these things and they ask 2 questions. Why you hate white people so much? And I'm like, I don't hate white people. And why are you tripping? That was so long ago. Shaming the person instead of addressing the issue.
The situation, right. Yeah. And that was this. I mean, nobody. There was nobody to really visibly sympathize with Maggie. You know, her parents seemed to be her parents, but they weren't necessarily involved. She goes to the doctor. The doctor seems to be helping her out, but then she's giving Alma the information and almost just using her for the prescription. So I mean, like it is nobody. Alma wasn't looking out for nobody but herself, and they end up, biting her in the ass at the end.
But that's again, that's us.
Yeah,
we turn to the people who oppress us and ask them to help us. Damn near 7 days a week, instead of using our pen, which would be our minds, our abilities to galvanize, come together, and overthrow the would-be king and its court. But we being, you see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and we hustling on that hamster wheel.
Yeah. Treadmill of life. You ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And then when you get to a point where you have something, you think you've made it. I can buy a Mercedes. I can buy a fur coat. I can buy a nice big house, but you're still being abused as if our enslaved ancestors. Come on, man. I know maybe I'm going a little too deep, but I know.
No, that's what we do.
I know people have to assume the North loses the war. At some point, they just put ankle bracelets on us and let us go around. Hey, as a matter of fact, these are chains. This is a chain.
Yeah.
They know exactly. They know who I am. They know where I am. They know what I spend. And I still, and then we had these deep conversations as they were doing, talking past each other, really not absorbing. Hey, man, Ben was right. But see, I knew what he was going. You know that conversation we've all had. I knew what you were gonna say, but that ain't what I was gonna say.
Right, exactly.
And then,
I'm gonna finish your sentence, but it's not even what I was about to say. And that was every conversation in this film. She's like, "Look, this happened to me." She's like, "I hear you, but I wasn't there, so how do I know?"
Exactly.
It's
bro.
my word.
Hey, bro, that happened to me. And it happened to me with one of my homeboys. I was at the Washington Post. Everybody hated this dude, Martin, looked like Posse. I can't say his last name because I don't want to do slant, but he did look like Posse off Happy Day. And we all have to have our own experience with everybody in the world. But if Doc say somebody's a bigot, Wilk say somebody a bigot, I say somebody a bigot, Keisha, Theodora, Phyllis, John, Jake, Joel, everybody who's tapped into the forecast say that guy's a bigot. If you haven't experienced bigotry with this dude, what is the likelihood of everybody being wrong?
Right.
The white guys in this office is like, yeah. Everybody hated this dude simultaneously. And one of my homeboys said, "Hey man, you just got that. I've never seen it. So you telling me I'm lying?"
Right.
So I've experienced that, man.
Yeah. I think we all have, at some degree. You tell somebody close to you, "Hey, this happened," and they're like, "Well, I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see it, so I don't have proof." So I can't agree with you. I can't say it happened.
And then in that instance, you're not asking people to hate someone. Hey man, hate them because I hate them. You're not saying that. You're saying, "Hey man, look at this BS, man."
Right.
Acknowledge this foolishness.
Acknowledge it. Right.
Exactly, man.
Exactly.
So,
and that's when somebody's hurting. A lot of times they're not expecting you to fix the problem. I know guys, especially me, in my marriage, if my wife says something, I'm immediately gonna try to fix it. But sometimes she don't want me to fix it.
Right.
I want you to listen, let her vent or just be that to acknowledge what's going on, to be actively listening, not just one in ear, one out the other. Yeah.
And you know what? I can equate that to being. I up until today, I never could identify with what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is this: I used to always hear psychologists and psychiatrists and therapists say, once you don't trust the man, once a man opens up to you, and you don't acknowledge his pain, he'll never open up to you again. And I experienced a ton of loss this year. And I was venting to somebody today, and they just let me vent. They ain't try to fix it. You know, they ain't doing anything. They just listen.
Yeah.
And I remember walking away saying, okay, I really can trust you.
Yeah.
Because I probably would have never said another word if one negative word would have come out this person's mouth. I'm talking about, and I'm not trying to gun at this person, nothing. I'm just, like,
that's real.
I thought that whole, man, you open up to somebody, and I was like, oh, I remember, and even as we're speaking, I'm thinking, man, all you did, that's all I needed to do was let that out.
Yeah.
But man, 2025 been a bitch for me. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
The very first two people on earth that I identified as my friends passed away this year.
Yeah.
Then the very first girl who I ever identified as a friend passed away this year. Yeah. And that happened in less than 90 days.
Yeah.
Then my main man passed away this year. And another home, man, it's a man. It's been a bitch, and I wasn't even sad when I was talking. I wasn't like, oh, woe is me, oh my God, oh my God, H-Rap, you're having a tough time. I just reflected. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Look, the one of the dudes that passed away is, we go back to this preschool called Beacon House. I remember. I could take this dude back to, I was 4 or 5 years. Now I had to be 4 years old. And he stole the graham crackers, and he stole it. I was gonna try to say, no, we snuck it, but we stole it. But he took the graham crackers, I took the cranberry juice. Remember those little cranberry juice you sip up?
Yeah.
Look, we shouldn't have been doing it. We took them, and I gave him the cranberry juice, and he gave me the graham cracker. We sitting there at nap time, eating them, drinking it. Put it in our pockets, go to sleep, piss on ourselves. That's how far I go back.
So, wow, hey, that's way back. Man.
That's way back. And my other man found out he dead, and it's just like bam, 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 bam. It's just an onslaught of bam. You're dealing with it, and you're dealing with it, and then you just at some point you got to deal with it. But you know what I'm saying? It's a monster, man. So when you're talking. The point is, when you're talking to Julia Roberts and looking for guidance, looking for support, or just looking to be heard.
Hell, a hug. You ain't even got to say nothing. A hug can go a million miles.
Just, you know what, man? Just don't say ish.
Right.
Just suck it in.
Yeah.
And people today, we all, I mean, the world ain't the same. But you know what the world used to be? The world used to give a damn. And this Julia Roberts did not give a hot goddamn
anybody. Everybody. Her husband tried to open. Her husband did open up.
Yeah.
He opened up.
But that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in today. Because suck it up. Or like, okay, like with me, I'm in mourning right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I found out about this Jewish concept. Just show you how beautiful God is. I found out about this Jewish concept of how Jewish people mourn. They said you need 30 days to mourn. All you need to do is go to work and go back home and just, And then you go to work the next day. You got to do what you got to do. But then you got to let it out. That's horrible. They give you 30 days to do that. And then after 30 days, you're really letting it out. You are expunging that sadness, that void from your system.
Right.
And man, I found out about that a week before I experienced this loss. So 2 weeks ago today, I found out about that concept. And you never know why God introduces you to certain things. Clearly, just like with me and my mother, 2006, I made a promise to God that I won't just spaz out on people no more. 2007 was filled with people that were spazzable, you know. Like,
Yeah, hey, they was asking for it.
yeah, hey, found me at a bar one time, Ben, and I hate to turn this into therapy session, but it does.
Hey, no, it's all good.
I found myself at a bar, looking at a basketball game, going. I was looking at basketball. My homegirl, you know, the one I do the podcast with, Trey Nash.
Yeah.
She asked me to go to a party with her. She was like, "Look, they think we date. I'm gonna buy you a couple beers, and you know, whenever you ready, you know, if you get ready to go first, but I'm just gonna say it's on you." I said, "Cool." I'm at the bar. She with her people. I'm drinking, and I'm literally sitting at the bar going, "Hey, God, let me cuss this check out." I was literally drinking a beer, talking to God, watching the basketball game. So, look, man, you know this person didn't push me way further than I normally do. I'm way better than I used to be, God. But let me get this cuss out in.
Yeah.
And one of my homeboys walked in. I hadn't seen him in 8 years. Where you work at? I said, I work here over here at the Post. He was like, for real? Watch out for this person. And and then I took that conversation to God saying, hey, man, every fool don't need a response. So fast forward to November. Fast forward to July. And in July happens. And then we go to this Bible study. And it teaches, the first lesson is forgiveness.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to this Bible study. Then in February, I call my mother. I say, "Ma, I'm going to Bible study." She said, "What's up?" "I'm proud of you." I said, yeah. I said, "You know what? I'm going to go to church." I ain't been to church since 82, Ben. It's 08.
82.
82, dog. 08. I was like, I'll go to church. It's February. Now get this, Ben. She said, "Oh, you don't go to church?" I said, "Yeah." "When you going?" I said, "On your birthday." My brother's birthday, Saturday, man. So we talk about February. It's like February 13th. December 13th. But it just so happened to be. So I'm going to Bible study, absorbing this stuff. It just so happened to be the time in which my mom gets sick. And I was a healthcare provider. That whole process prepared me. Those people picking at me, gunning at me.
Yeah.
Prepared me, because the old me would have choked somebody. But it taught me patience. And, you know, even to this day, and then I'm done. I'm talking about rap. Even to this day, you know, experienced the loss. And Wednesday, I said, I said this to myself. So I'm gonna go on my head. The oldest memory I can get is my homeboy. He my homeboy now, but his name Clarence Dad. He threw my coat in the toilet. He got mad at me, put my coat in the toilet. And I said, I'm gonna go back to kindergarten. Clarence Dad, Miss Bush class. Clarence Dad threw my coat in the toilet. Even though I've long since forgiven him, I said, I'm gonna pack up everything somebody ever did to me. I'm gonna put it in a box in my head. I'm gonna set that box on fire. Every week I got a new practice. Every week I'm putting something in that box and I'm burning it. So if you pissed me off today, next week your offense going to that box.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, you have to. That goes into the Jewish thing. You have to purge yourself of all this. Otherwise, this pain will haunt you like it did this young lady.
Yeah.
Young lady
literally ate her lot. She had ulcer.
Yeah.
They didn't say till the end, but I mean, she hated the person that she was. And it ate at her until she ended up passing out, almost dying. I thought she was gonna die. I thought at some point, and maybe at the end or some point in this film, I thought she was gonna die. Like I was like, okay, that's where this film is going, because she's just a detriment to herself.
And being again, she is a microcosm of the Black community. We're eating ourselves inside out. Right. We are allowing,
literally and figuratively.
We are seeing, literally, it's not even 10,000 young people on the TV every day nationwide. It's not 10,000 of them, man.
Yeah.
They're acting the ass. But these young people are crazy. But we ain't talking about your daughter. We're not talking about my daughter. We're not talking about my son. We're not talking about dog kids. We're not talking about Will kids. We're not talking about my sister's children. We're not talking about Keisha's children. We're not talking about other sister children. Nicole, can't think of Lily. Lily.
Yeah, Lily, yeah.
Nicole, we're not talking about their children. We're not talking about Knox children, Rocket. We're not talking about anybody's children that we know. Right. We see these less than 10,000. And I know it's less than 10,000. Let me tell you why. Yeah. Chicago is a gang-ridden city. You know, it's less than 10,000 registered gangbangers in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm sure it's way less than 10,000.
Right. Look. They tell us they propagandize crime in this country, right?
Yeah.
We got crime issues. Guess how many people are incarcerated in the United States? If you just had to guess, how many people you think will be incarcerated?
I don't know. 3-4 million?
Less than, it's just under 6 million people. It's 320 million people in this country.
Right. That's a small percentage.
But let them tell it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's why that's honestly a lot of the reason why I don't watch the news. I mean, because it shows you every bad thing that happens in your city. Shows you the weather. They go to sports. They're not highlighting the positive things that are happening in the community.
It shows you the bad things in certain communities.
Right.
This girl is a reflection of that. Look. Instead of saying I'm a student at Yale, I'm killing it. I had some issues, but man, overall, I'm a good person. Yeah. All she saw was wrong. This happened to me, that happened to me. That. Right. And that's what I was saying. That's why I can continue to reference her as a microcosm of the Black community. We don't think about the kids, the young people who are getting these full ride academic scholarships, inventing things. What about
multiple? Right.
What about this? I forgot what HBCU. FAMU. They've created something for the environment down there, and the government is funding it and benefiting from it. Yeah. You don't hear about those Black kids.
Hear about that.
You hear about John Doe shoots Jane Doe and Jane Doe stabs Jill Doe, and you're like, what? And then we accept it as fact. Right. These young people, and again, that's us developing a social ulcer.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's facts. Man, we hold on to it. And we put that, like you talking about, putting that in a box. We put that in our brain, and that's right the first thing. Yeah, that's the first thing that we go to. It's just them kids again.
And then anybody who doubts what I'm saying, I'm sorry to dominate like this, man.
No, you're all right. You're all right.
This my lane. And anybody who doubts any word of what I'm saying, I want you to do this. I'm not trying to make my point, but I'm not talking about gang banging and drug dealing. Because gang banging and drug dealing has been going on since this inception of the country.
Right.
We got a movie called The Gangs of New York. So Al Capone, the Kennedys, and all those dudes were running dope and liquor. So I talk about that.
Yeah.
Eliminate gang banging, eliminate gang banging and drug dealing. We're talking about purely wilding out the stuff that we see these young people doing. Yeah. Think of 10 people you know, just 10, or you can do 100 people. Prove me wrong. Think of as many people you know. I started off with 10, and hey, you're gonna be the science project for now, man. Think of 10 people you know with children.
Yeah. How
many of their kids are doing anything out of the ordinary? I'm talking about just wilding out, busting in cars, running in stores. How many? None. So how is it that our children are so bad if you and 51, you're 51, you and 50 other people cannot think of 10 people with kids doing these things?
Yeah.
That means it's a small amount. That means something is being highlighted. There's a light being shined on us. Right. And that's what this young
mission. Yeah, there's a narrative that's being pushed and portrayed to make us afraid. A lot of times to make us afraid of our own kids, make us afraid of our own teenagers in our community, and really that makes them think like, what's wrong with me? Like, people won't even say hi. People won't even. Like, we had this conversation at our church in the men's fellowship. Like, look, we got all these teenagers. How many times do we say, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" How many times do we just say hello? Like, we just walk past because we think we can't relate, or we think we we can't have a conversation, and we're not even talking about having a conversation. We just talking about saying, "What's up? How you doing? You had a good week?"
As Method Man once said, "You walking through your neighborhood scared to speak and speaking because you're scared."
Yeah, man, that's truth.
Yeah, so that's why I keep going back to she is a microcosm of the Black community, because we we throw so much pressure on our back, and I ain't being negative. Yes, you are, because you know exactly how this is gonna fit. But what if you're not? That's not. What if the other way? I literally cut off a dude 15 years ago, man. I haven't said anything besides hello to him for 15 years. Because I came up with a youth program in my mind. I said, he called me like 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. He said, "What you on?" I said, "Man, I'm writing out this youth program." And when I told him, I was, to this day, I say it's a great program. I'll tell you about it on our time.
Yeah.
They're not going to let you do that. I said, "You know what, dog? I'm glad you wasn't around when King and Abernathy were doing that thing. We'd be riding in the motor messing with you." I said, "Lose my number." I haven't talked to him since, because we keep, like your fellowship said, we keep walking past these children, wagging our finger at them, saying what's wrong with them, instead of uplifting, encouraging, and engaging.
Yeah,
they're cooked.
Right.
And just like
there's no guidance. There's no guidance. There's nobody that's trying to speak with them like we had. We had teachers. We had everywhere you went. It was church, school. It was just in the neighborhood. You had somebody that would look out for you, give you some nuggets, give you some wisdom. Sometimes you didn't even ask for it, but they gave it to you. They could see further than what you could see. They've been there, done that, lived it. So yeah,
Ben, we don't even realize that we're human time machines. The reason I say we're human time machines is this, Ben. You'll go through your old neighborhood.
It's been a minute.
Okay. Just imagine this. You walk, just mentally put yourself in your old neighborhood.
Yeah. And I do that sometimes too.
When was the last time you were in your old neighborhood?
Like 10, 15 years.
15 years. You know what? You just bought your house, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Four, yeah.
4 years ago you bought your house.
Yeah.
Don't even go back go back to 5 years. You ever drove through your neighborhood that you lived in before your house?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You're a time machine, Ben, because you are literally walking through that neighborhood, seeing what used to be there, what is there currently, and then building something. That's a time machine.
Yeah.
And we don't even respect our power in regards to that. And guess what? If you are a walking, talking, breathing time machine, do you know how beneficial you could be to a young person?
Right.
You could be like, "Hey, man, this used to be a movie theater where you standing selling this stuff. This used to be a movie theater, man.
Right.
This was the popping place." What? Yeah, man. That's what they like. One of them is gonna say, like, how? Now you engaging, and now you the old school cat that cared, and you ain't got to say nothing. Just walk away.
Yeah,
that's how they used to give it to us. I know that happened to you. I've never.
Plenty of times.
And it happens.
And they gone, and you still think about that to this day. You still think about them conversations that you had, that wisdom that they gave you. Like you said, this used to be this. This used to be a park, and now it's a 3-rise or apartment complex.
Watch this, man. History has always been my favorite subject. I immersed myself in history big time in 6th grade, Miss Dow's class. Miss Dow told me you should be a historian or archaeologist. When did she tell me that, man? Just take a wild guess when she told me that. What year?
Well, yeah, I would say I could take it a grade, maybe 4th grade, 3rd or 4th grade.
It was 6th grade, 1981, 44 years ago. I still hold on to it to this day.
Yeah.
So, and that wasn't a horrible situation I was in, but people thought Miss Dow was crazy. She would yell and scream at you, but she wasn't yelling and screaming to be a detriment. She used to be like, "Damn it, kid, you must try." And people thought she was crazy. Miss Dow used to get so frustrated. If you didn't try hard, she would take the chalk and just break it.
She cared. That was showing that she
Miss
Man.
Dallas is it. My aunt had her, my sisters had her, my cousins had her,
Wow.
both sides of my family had her.
Yeah.
And they were like, Miss Down, that's the crazy one. As children, it's crazy, but man, bruh, Miss
Hey, she
Down.
was crazy about y'all learning. She was crazy about y'all trying.
And for those who swear to God, I hate white people because they listen to my program and they hear it and not listen. Miss Dow is a white one.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then to draw this parallel again, so I don't know, as soon as it started to hit the fan, and so fast forward, she been taking these pills the entire film. As the viewer, this is great, great filmography. As the viewer, you just think that's her prescription and she's taking it because she's sick. Fast forward, you figure out that she's using a fake prescription from a friend that was a doctor, and it ends up coming to a point where they're like, "Yeah, you've been getting this subscription and it's not yours, and you've been taking it. We got proof." So as soon as that happened, she's just like, "Okay, I don't care about anybody." She already didn't care, but now she displaying she doesn't care, and she ends up talking to Maggie, and she ends up basically just verbally destroying her.
mm-hmm.
And like, how many times when we having our worst day or something bad happens to us, and we immediately go to somebody else and try to tear them down when they ain't had nothing to do.
Again, white women not getting their way. And I hate to dump on the white community because it's not the entire community, but it's most of y'all. I'm not gonna. I hope I don't care if I offend you, because only dogs holler the ones that get hit.
Right.
Y'all, the good white folks is in minority, just like the bad black folks are in a minority.
Right.
But y'all don't feel it until, as Theodora said, y'all don't feel it until that rock hits you in your damn head.
Yeah, until it hits home.
Making sense.
Yeah.
No. And this is exactly what, dude. The more I think about it, man, the more I think about the more I think about it. This movie had nothing to do with these three people. This is America.
Yeah. And maybe that's what the director was trying to do, because we've talked on this show numerous times about films that are made and don't have any quality to it, and we have trashed them plenty of times. But films like these that produce conversation, this is what we need. And they're actors to portray these roles, but these roles are related, like we've been saying all night, is related to the way America is. And when the victim gets victimized, and the
victimizer is only a puppet in that play.
Right. True.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And everybody, and I think the great thing about this film is everybody truly showed who they were, because the whole film you're thinking, okay, Hank did it. We figured he did it, and then he ends up staying in Maggie's apartment, and then she comes over there, and then I had a feeling he was gonna try to come after her, which he did. She was like, "Nah, this is not even what this is." So, what'd you say?
The president.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you just think you got some. You think you have the upper hand, so you take advantage. And that was this film one on one.
I mean, dude, president, the ships in the Gulf.
Yeah.
Right, America, Julia Roberts, black people, brown people, people of color were Maggie.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want people to think I think all white people are bad. Some of the best people I've met in my life are white folks, but they are in the minority, and I refuse to believe anything else. And if I'm wrong, tell you what. To anybody who watches this program and assume that I'm wrong for saying that good white people are in the minority, one question: explain to me why the people who are in my community and other marginalized community, whether it be women or whether it be people from other countries who are heritage from other countries, Why are we still fighting for the exact same thing we were fighting for 162 years ago?
Yeah.
Now, because the majority of us are fighting for that. No matter what other culture you come from, we are saying, "Hey, man, just leave us alone. Let us do our thing." And if the majority of y'all are fighting for the same thing, it shouldn't be a fight anymore after 162 years.
Right. Right.
So
shouldn't be.
Either y'all full of it or y'all up with it.
Yeah.
Either way.
It's
acquiescence.
Right. And then you fast forward to the end, and Maggie's winning. Assuming like she wrote a book or something. She's about to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Alma, and she looked busted and disgusted. I mean, she's like, I'm happy, but I lost everything. And Maggie's like, okay. Like I was put in the worst situation in my life. And you telling me you lost everything. That's because you made bad choices. Not because I did anything to you. You made multiple bad choices, and that was the consequences. And that's what we need in America too. You face these consequences, you bad choices and bad decisions that affect multiple people.
Almost calls you more. Ben, Ben, again, Maggie is our community. If you stop fighting who you are and live up to your ability, you can get to a point
right.
You don't need anyone.
And you don't even need to be trying to get people's approval and people's
acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement, right? Exactly. Yeah.
So she is the black dude. She's and if anybody is hearing victim shaming, I'm not. What I'm saying is victims just to create victim. The lashes from victimhood are covered by scabs. What is it? Scabs.
Yeah.
Scabs. Those scabs are rough.
Yeah.
Use those scabs to fight off this madness, and then you move forward. Like I'm not patting myself on the back, but like I've decided to do. I could be wallowing right now. I'm in pain. I ain't gonna front. It sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm taking James Barnes, Taryn Alexander, Ray Shaw, my uncle, Kenya Combs, and other people who I've lost in 2025, along with things that have annoyed me, angered me, hurt my feelings. I'm packing it all up. I packed it all up because I said I was going to have it done by the services Friday. I packed it all up. I put it in the mental box, and I set that box on fire. And I got a new mantra. I'm gonna do that every week, and you get 30. You piss me off. You got 30 minutes. You got 29. No. I said you got 29 minutes when you offend me. In the event that you offend me, you have 29 minutes. And after that 29 minutes, it's over. Yeah. Because I'm not giving you 30.
Right.
So
I'm not giving you more than what I'm gonna decide I'm gonna give it.
Yeah.
Because if we let it run on,
it will. You heard me tell the story about 1985. Donald Thompson slapped me, and I almost punched him in his face about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So Donald, next time I see Donald, shout out to Ron Coleman, shout out to my man Larry Brandon, shout out to Cedric Trotter and Mo and others who have just said, "Man, let it go. I'm letting it go now.
Yeah.
You've offended me. You've hurt my feelings. You've scarred me. I'm gonna use that roughness on the scar." And that's what Maggie did. She took that roughness on the back of a scar and fixed. I just fixed myself.
Yeah. You don't keep peeling that scab off.
Right, and that's what we
let it heal. You take that time, like you've been talking about. Take that time to let it heal. And even she said that at the end, I don't care for people's approval. I'm not doing anything else I don't want redemption anymore, is what she said. I stopped caring about redemption.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do me in my lane and not worrying about what you got going on. I'm surprised she even met with her. I don't know. They didn't give like any backstory on how that came about, but she didn't let it get to her.
Exactly. But see, again, this is why I keep calling Maggie the black community.
Yeah.
We keep saying, I'm gonna buy this suit for $10,000, this $1,000 suit, because I'm going to show them.
Right. And they don't care.
They don't care.
That's the part.
That's the part y'all keep overlooking.
Right.
They don't care.
Nah, they perfectly fine with whatever we got. They perfectly fine because it's they don't respect it and they don't care.
I'm telling you. So shout out to Maggie. Shout out. Hopefully people watch this and they see Maggie as us.
Yeah.
And they use the Maggie energy. And think about it. The person in the middle was the most what's the most toxic person, and they got what they want, and they still crashed and burned.
Right. What's up? What's up, D? Great. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. All right, man. So let's round this out with some final thoughts. Mike rating once again, After the Hunt. It's available on Amazon. Give me your final thoughts and Mike rating.
Even though I've been talking all the time, but this is a thought-provoking movie about life. Look past the story and apply this to the essence of who you are.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times the words don't do a justice song. It's the words, it's the melody, and the sentiment behind the writing of a song. It's the sentiment behind the movie that you need to watch. That's why I give it a 4.5.
4.5. Okay. All right. I was coming into this like a 3.5, but I think I'll give it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
We got a pretty much a 4 out of 5, and
I'll go with 4 too. You know, give me the 4.
Okay.
5 is perfect, and it's not.
Yeah. So IMDb 5.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 37%, and then Metacritic 52 out of 100. So I don't know. The critics wasn't really feeling it, but I don't know. Amazon don't get a lot of love on their films. I don't know why that is, but
I know why. A lot of these films got people that look like us in it. See, we don't. Again, back to what you said a few minutes ago. They don't care. You have a bunch of people who are culturally blind, looking at culturally inspired movies.
Yeah, right.
Let's just go back. We can go back 41 years. 41 years. 1984, the summer that Purple Rain took over the world. Siskel and Ebert destroyed that movie. And it is known as a classic.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was culture aware.
Yeah, I just wonder during that time, would it be in Prince? I'm just imagining we was gonna go see it regardless. Like we didn't care what Siskel, Ebert, any of them had to say. It was Prince. And then when you go to see it again, you don't allow the critics to cause you to not watch something or interact with something or even visit a place or whatever. And we got that bad as a culture. We will read something and that'll cause us to not even engage with it.
Watch this, Ben. Watch this. This is just the raw dog craziness of it. You've been watching sports as long as I am, in regards to the span of your life.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard this statement? The Cowboys, your team, man. The Cowboys, they didn't win the Super Bowl last time. They went to the Super Bowl 20 years ago. They didn't win because Jimmy Johnson just wasn't good enough. Have you ever heard any Super Bowl team that lost by a reasonable amount of points? Have you ever heard, man, coach just wasn't good enough to get them over the top? You've never heard that.
No.
Even in blowouts, you never heard, man, that coach just wasn't good enough to stop that blowout. This will show you how culturally biased people are in America. I heard that yesterday about Lovie Smith. When the Bears went to the Super Bowl, he said, the Bears haven't been to the Super Bowl in 20 years, and they have won one in 40 years. Well, in '05 we went there, but Lovey wasn't good enough to get
Really?
over the hump.
Rex.
Thank you.
Rex Grossman was the quarterback. I was shocked that they even got there. Period. Which is testament to Lovey.
But
they had Rex Grossman.
You see the
and
coach,
Devin Hester. I don't remember anybody else on that team. Maybe Forte was on that team. Maybe
Matt Forte was not on that. Yeah, no, he was he? I don't even. But as you see, I know Lance Briggs, Michael Brown, Alex Brown, the tackle. I can't think of names from Oklahoma. You knew the defense.
Yeah, Urlacher, right?
Nobody else. Peanut Tillman. Nobody else.
Yeah.
So that's the cultural head nod that we don't get. Lovey wasn't good enough. And did he say, okay, if that was his mindset, Mike Dicker took them to the Super Bowl in '85 and never won another playoff game.
Right. Yeah. And went to another team.
And stunk all damn. More than Brett Funky.
Yeah.
But
and that's just that's the black coach narrative.
And that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Because hell, Shanahan's been there 4 years.
Enough yet. Besides Mo hates Shanahan. Hey man, it feels good to be able to read. You're in the show.
That was last week, the week before last.
I got on Friday, Jack. Brian H-Rap B. Williams, Jack.
There you go. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Shout out to the likes, RC in the building. Thank you for the thumbs up. My parents, Ben and Irene, thank you. Blue Streak, D Great.
Okay.
Let's get into this preview for next week, man. As soon as I seen this, I don't know how it came across my timeline, but I'm like, this is us. I think we've been waiting on something like this. So let's get into this preview for next week.
If there were no black cowboys, then America would not exist.
Right on, King Jesus.
What, you want proof?
No man can deny me.
The black cowboy was intentionally removed from the story so that we can create the myth of the American white cowboy.
As soon as cowboy became a cool thing was exactly when they took that from us.
You know, white people really got some nerve.
When you say cowboy, I don't think a Lone Ranger.
The actual real Lone Ranger was a black man.
Land is everything. Land is freedom. Land is power.
It was just stolen. That's a heist.
What you don't want to be known, you erase it.
All this right here, y'all gonna have to rewrite that, rework that.
Country music is black music. Has it been stolen? Has it been heisted? Is there anything black people have made that hasn't been heisted?
You rewrote the history. We are just going back and straightening the story out.
To reclaim what was stolen from us, we have to tell everyone.
All right. And coming up next week, High Horse, the Black Cowboy, kind of reminds me of a Hound the Hog type documentary. It's a 3-part, 40 minutes each episode. So that's a smooth series right there. So that's what we're gonna do next week. A-Trap, I know you kind of touched on a lot today. What did you talk about on the show?
I haven't done a show. You could go. I can give you my last show. My most recent show was Saturday. Let me pull it up. You know, after you've done.
Y'all been dropping some gems.
No, we didn't even do. Her child's birthday was this week, so I ended up doing a separate show on my own.
Okay.
And it was called Chaos to Control. Chaos to Control. What that show is about is we are witnessing chaos so they can control your mind. You put out certain things in front of the world, so it is a distraction. Everything is a distraction. You know, you bring up this fiasco with SNAP benefits. You know, this fiasco with SNAP benefits, this fiasco with Medicare and Medicaid, and not everybody's talking about everything else, but then you get into a world of trouble with these Epstein files, and then you do something else. Now you're in a world of trouble by blowing up things, and you got the world looking at you crazy, and now you're trying to deflect. You continue to further pivot and pivot and pivot and pivot. And instead of paying attention to our community, we are paying attention to things that don't concern us, like the old folks used to say, them white people problems. And what we can do is start looking at our diet, adjusting our diet, eating more vegetables, drinking a ton more water. See, if we start adjusting to health, mentally, physically, and spiritually, you won't need diabetes medication. You won't need high blood pressure medication. You won't need as much Medicaid and Medicare as is being reduced from us. And if we start investing in, and it's not a shot at our audience, if you guys start telling a friend to tell a friend to tap in, like, share, and move forward, well, what me and Ben can do is continue to expand our platforms. And when we expand our platforms, at that we can get to a point where, let's just say hypothetically, we got 400,000 people supporting both of us. Now me and Ben are making enough money so we can have production teams. Now we got production teams. We're employing people. Some of those 350,000 black women who lost jobs, they could become CEOs at BS3 and the end of the bench. And when they do that, we can continue expanding. And like me, over the last month, I wrote out 2 television shows. I'm in the midst of writing a book. We can, again, with those 800,000 people, both 400 supporting Ben, 400 supporting me, we can turn ourselves into a self-contained unit that needs no one. They're not going to shut the internet down because that's where they're making their money. So you don't have to worry about that. Then we can start funneling our stuff to Mansa. Mansa is a platform that is equal to Tubi, but with higher quality film. And guess what?
Not owned by Fox.
And not owned by Fox. It's owned by BLKs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to focus on the health mentally, the health physically, and the spiritual health. That's why I really, really enjoy your parents' podcast, because they attack spiritual health at all time. Me and you on our other platforms, we attack mental and physical health. And if we start just living that way,
if we just elevate those things,
like
our mindset is just different. Mm-hmm. Like you get bogged down if you eating out every meal of the day, you can't fully function. Your brain is not functioning at the high enough level where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
we don't. When last time you had soup? When last time you made a homemade soup? When last time you cooked dinner 4 days in a week?
When the last time you had an orange? I had a coworker say, "Man, what's that smell? Like, it's an orange." He was like, "Man, I hadn't smelled one of those in a minute." I'm like, "Bro,
man,
we just apples, oranges, man. We get back to the basics."
Used to be, at one point in your life and in my life, right now, we could go to our mother's home and it would be a big bowl of fruit there with walnuts and all that stuff in that bowl every year as an annual centerpiece on everybody's cocktail table.
That's what we got for Christmas. Everybody got that sack, with the apples, oranges, and the walnuts in there.
And the walnuts in there. Are we still?
Yeah, that's why my grandmother. I mean, she was one of the healthiest people. Never been in a hospital. And that was like her thing. She was like, I'd never been in a hospital. You know, later on she ended up getting dementia, but Alzheimer's, but you know, she was healthy and she really displayed that, and that was a great example, you know, for us.
And stay on, man. I'm gonna tell you to go get some. You know, I tell everybody, get you some chlorophyll. It's a little green. It's a bottle of green liquid. You get your bottle of water, take 2 or 3 drops in it every day. It removes the metals and things to that from your body. Your bio will be green. And don't get me wrong, it'll like Christmas tree green until you stop drinking. But guess what? It removes the aluminum, the metal, and stuff like that from your body. And guess what that does? That eliminates the smell. Your body will not have a smell. You won't need deodorant. And they don't promote this type of stuff because when you do that, your skin will smooth. You got alopecia, your skin will smooth out. You got to get this stuff out your body. That's why we are potentially suffering from things like Alzheimer's and stuff like that, because we don't take cod liver oil, we don't take castor oil, we don't take these things. We don't eat onions on a regular basis. That helps your heart function. Right. I don't like onions, make your breath stink. Well, you want to die? You know?
Exactly.
You had the best breath in the morning, you know.
Exactly.
Out his mouth, yeah, because he ain't breathing.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I used to think it was corny, but your health is wealth for real. Because like you can have all the money you want, but if you can barely move around, if you can't even drive that Bentley that you got, if you can barely maneuver, and you can't enjoy that money, like what is it for then? Like we have the opportunity. That's one thing that we have control over. What we put in our mouths, we have full control over that. Nobody's forcing us to eat anything. So, hey, that's the takeaway from tonight. And take care of yourself, man. Get the checkups. Make sure you're going to your doctor. You don't got to do everything that they say do, but you need to get checked out, especially us. So, all right, man, go ahead and close this out, Trump.
Hey, man, love yourself, love us, support us at all time. BS3 in the building. Hit like, hit share, tell a friend, tell a friend. The end of the bench in the building. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Help us, help you, help us, uplift all of us. We're out.
Peace.